is Christmas Eve, day 24 of my Vlogmas. You're watching Recreational Knitting. My name is Karen. Anybody ever seen a yodeling pickle? Now you have. Day 24. I never thought I'd make it here, guys. Might be a long one. Get your coffee. Get whatever little snack you're ready to eat. And let's get to this. First of all, my 12 days of yarn is complete, and I have them up there on my, in my stocking, not on my stocking. Yeah. And yesterday I told you I was going to restock this and use it for next year. Already done it. I'll never remember. So this is going to go in the cupboard today, and I'll see you 365 days from now. Well, less than that. I'll see you December 1st next year. I'll be completely surprised because I'm working from stash this year. Yes, I am. But before we get into that, I'll show you what I did yesterday knitting-wise. And then I have an acquisition. All right. I did very little on this yesterday. Very little. So it's a sock. And it will be a shorty. And that's about it for that particular piece. I hope to finish those. Finish that one tonight. And as I was digging around in my works in progress, I found another Trescale. And this is where I was the last time I showed you. Right here. So I did that last night, and I have just a very few short rows to go. I'm making this right below the elbow sweater, more versatile here in Florida. And over here, the ball ended, and I think I probably have maybe an inch of stockinette, and then the ribbing, and then I'll have another sweater. Trescale is a free pattern. I've made, I don't know, 5 of these. They really fit me nicely. I use the numbers, and I've made, yeah, quite a few of these. So hopefully I'll get that finished within a few days, and I'll have another bag to put my things in. But yes, this is what I'm working on today. What I told you yesterday that I was working on is totally a lie. Don't trust me. I can't make decisions like that. I think I make emotional decisions. And hence, this is why I have a new bag of yarn. It's 50% off, so that's what I had to do. But when you see it, you'll understand. Totally. This yarn came to me yesterday. Yes, yesterday. And it's from Stony Creek Yarn. That is an Etsy shop. And this is in her yarn base classic sock. And it's called Poplar Blue Gray, Soft Green. And here it is. I love blues. I love greens. Look at that. How rich is that? This is really a lovely base. It's kind of high twist. 75-25, 2 plies, and it's approximately 463 yards. And let me pull up a piece so you can see. And I'm going to make probably an anchor summer shirt, if you want honesty. But it may be a new pattern, I don't know. But this is now in my stash and I can officially use it, right? Isn't that lovely? I love this color. When I saw it, I go, oh my gosh, I can't do this. So yeah, it's beautiful. Can you feel it? Reach out, touch it, it's so soft. You know how sometimes you get a 75-25 and it's just not quite soft as you think it should be? This makes up for every one of those. It's very soft. It's lovely. This has bits of blue, almost gray, almost black, green, light green, almost white in some areas. I think it will be lovely. I love green, I love blue. Those are my 2 favorite colors, in case you didn't know. Yay! So that's my new stash. So I'll be stash busting with that as well. Yeah. So, yes, it's Stony Creek Yarn, one word. And she has an Etsy shop. And that is the classic sock. She has a couple different bases. I'm not sure this time of year what she does have, but I'm going to find out. It's really quite a nice shop. Yeah, speaking of stash busting, I might be busting some stash today. How you like that? I saw this, or something similar to this, when I had my trip to London in 2016. I went by myself. It was my retirement gift to myself. I had initially wanted to go to Italy, but Luke said, oh, no, I'm going to Italy. And I wanted to do this trip by myself. I've always wanted to travel by myself, and the only place I ever went by myself was New Hampshire, to the beach. So this would be a bona fide international trip. So I saw something like this, but it was like ridiculous because it was obviously one of the gift shops near Paddington. And I thought, okay, if I ever see something like this again, I'm going to purchase it. And this came up on Amazon and I purchased it. So I'll be busting into this stash a little later. Shortbread is my absolute favorite. Butter. Anyway. Yes, I've lost my mind. And I have fiber in my mouth. So, is everybody ready for that Christmas thing that's going to happen sooner than we want? Or maybe not as soon as we want, depending on the mindset. Yeah, it's here. It will just be Luke and I this year. We've done that now for 5 years. because of the way we've been traveling, as well as you know, my kids, my brother-in-law. Yeah, my son-in-law is in retail. My daughter is a teacher. The other one works holidays. She works at a animal rescue. So Christmas is not a time that, unless we travel to them, and that's not always easy when they're working. And in my daughter's case, recovering from a full semester of teaching and being in a PhD program. So, anywho, it'll just be us. We're not having anything terribly fancy. We're having au gratin potatoes, Brussels sprouts. I know, I love Brussels sprouts. And green beans, I love them. And a steak on the grill. That's it. We bought no desserts because I might share these. Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty low key, and that's okay. That's all right with me. Speaking of low key, we are going to try to get this in the picture today. This is the sampler of the day. I'm hoping you can see this. This is an example of a Newburyport sampler. Alphabet, roses, small alphabet, some kind of a saying, flowers, a saying, and then down here is usually where the tree of life is. Not always, but we have a three-sided border. Usually there's some biblical reference down here with the animals. I don't know whether you can see this, but I'm going to bring it up to the camera. And I did this in 1999 with silk thread. I'm not sure it's Vicki Clayton, but it's silk thread. And it's over, let me see. This is an even weave, and it's probably 36 count. So yeah. And if you come by tomorrow, I'll show you my piece de resistance. I totally screwed that up. Piece. And if you come by tomorrow, I'll show you really the sampler that is my masterpiece. This won first place at the York Fair. And you can't see it, but I have a silver dish up there that, you know, says, I think it's the year 2000 I put it in, because I finished it in 1999, so that would make sense. Best in class for needlework, which includes knitting, crocheting, embroidery, anything with needle and thread or yarn. So I'm hoping that you were able to see that. And my partner Luke really does not like them at all, which makes me very sad, because I could have them plastered all over the house. So anyway, let's talk about the two alongs that we're doing next year. Whip Be Gone is the first one. I'll be starting the Ravelry group on that. Anything that you start by midnight of I keep saying January, December 31st of this year, anything that you've got in your stash, it can be stained glass, it can be knitting, it can be quilting, it can be any craft, it can be even needle felting. If you've got a kit that you've started that you want to finish, that counts. You just need to put a picture in the finished objects, and we're going to run it all year long. It's also going to be on Instagram. So I'll probably pick a prize or two from Instagram, and I'll probably pick a prize or two from Instagram, from Ravelry. I said Instagram twice, right? So yeah, all these bags. We'll get a look-see very soon. And yes, we will be working on those. And the second make-along is working from stash. I had a terrible incident happen yesterday on my computer, and I've been working very hard on these, and I'm trying to not be upset. And I'm sure there's an easy fix, but I don't know how to go to it. Yeah, I had the first one almost finished. It's going to be a 3-part series of how to work down your stash. And the first one is no longer there in my editing program. So I'm trying to locate it, but I really had to close it up last night thinking I can't do this right now. So yeah, so maybe today I'll try to search for it. Sometimes life isn't easy, and computers get harder all the time. I used to be, believe it or not, the IT person in my elementary school back in the mid-late 90s. And, you know, I was teaching courses. Yeah, gone. Yeah, all that's, I got kind of stuck there. Not quite, but kind of got stuck in that era and never left it, apparently, because now there's all kinds of things that mean nothing to me. So wish me luck that I find that. But I'm going to briefly explain stash reduction. Anything that you have as stash: stained glass, yarn, cross stitch. If you do the paper, what do you call it? Scrapbooking. Yeah, if there's a project there that you've been working on that you've got stash from that, it all works. Anyway, so there's lots of ways to do this, as I tried to explain on my video that I lost. But I'll redo, and we'll see if I capture all of those things. A couple of things more that I want to share with you. There are new patterns that, for me, that I want to work on this year. One of the ones that's been in my queue like a long time, it seems, is this is Vodka Lemonade by Thea Coleman. It's a cardigan, and I want to make it, and I have to find DK weight out of my stash. If I can't, it's not going to be worked on. So yeah, it's I don't know whether she has any more pictures in this or not. Rather detailed. There's a picture of the back, and there's a picture of the collar. So there's a lot of garter, reverse stockinette, and then there's this little doodad in the back that makes me happy. Little lace. It looks pretty simple. There's little lace here in the front. There's no buttons. So just a slip-on, put it over a dress kind of thing. So I have to find DK that I would really like to have that sweater in. I'm not sure that will happen, but this is a goal of mine this year. Another goal, and this will be easy to do, is make a pair of the flax, not flax. Flax is the sweater, rye is the socks. I want to make a few pairs of those. I heard they're really nice and everybody likes them. They fit well. So that's another goal. That will be easy to find some fingering weight, assuming it's fingering. That looks kind of chunky there as I look at it. Oh yeah, that's worsted. Ugh. I'll find something. But yeah, those will be nice house socks for my kids. They'll rarely wear them. And then the last one is the Cozy Memory blanket. Using my scraps, trying to get rid of stash. This will be a big stash buster. Here in Florida, we don't need big old fat blankets, but we do need blankets. We've been down in the 40s already this winter, which is, according to the weatherman, bundle up weather. Yes. In Vermont, it was like, okay, put on a sweater, you know. I lived in Vermont for a couple of years. So, yeah, so I'm late to the party, but I decided I'm going to do that. So those are just about 3 patterns that I've printed off that will hopefully get some attention this year. And by attention, I mean some of this loveliness that's over here for stash. So, I think I've covered everything today. I hope you have a marvelous Christmas. Remember, if you've got friends, family, neighbors that may be alone, this holiday is not always easy for those folks. Give them a call. Take them a plate of cookies, but don't give them my bus. I'll give the cookies away, just don't give my bus. Take them some cookies, take them a plate. Invite them. Make contact. Ask them if they have what they need. Would they like to come over? Don't assume that they're okay. Make sure of it. And on that note, knit in peace.